VC, how we all doing? George back with another video. 10 jazz albums as per usual. Yeah, mostly new, 3 used, my local record shop and trade-ins. So the first one is, I'll show you, is, yeah, just got this in, right enough. It's Gary Burton Works on ECM. Now these Works albums are compilations. And this is tracks from 73, from album 73 75 by Gary Burton. Yeah, this is part of a 15-year anniversary by ECM, released in 1985. And they've done 10 LPs, 10 comps by 10 of their best artists. So there we go, released in 1984 in West Germany. We've got Gary Burton, there's about 9 tracks, 8-9 tracks. On vibraphone obviously, and various artists on different tracks. You've got Chick Corea plays on one, Pat Metheny plays on a couple, Ralph Toner plays on I think 1 track. Yeah, so there's the back there. I think this was about £12, like for an ECM no-brainer. A week later, the next couple are a different trade-in. That was part of an old trade-in. He had £12 lying there and I'd forgot to pick it up. This is on Enya, another West German label from 1974 also, and it's Ben Webster, Live at Pio's, which I think is maybe a club in Rhode Island, New York. Show you that. There's a label there, Enya label. Yeah, we've got Ben Webster, saxophone, tenor, Junior Mance on piano, which I guess is this chap here. Bob Cranshaw on bass and Mickey Rooker on drums. 6 tracks, yeah, real good album. It's been there a while. I think he had £18 on this, and that's why I never picked it up before. But anyway, it's a good enough album, and I need to swap with him. So Ben Webster on Enya. Now this one's been on his board for a while. He's got a wee jazz bit. He's got some jazz albums on it. He's had it for a long time, and I've just passed it by because I thought it was overpriced. It was £40. And actually when I looked at it and whatever, when you look on Discogs, the last half a dozen I went for about £40. The medium on it is £15-16, and that's what I thought it was probably worth. But anyway, he's charging. I moaned a wee bit to him and he took £2 or £3 off. And the artist is Art Farmer, Crawl Space. I'll just keep the outer jacket on it as it's gatefold. Same back and front there. This is the UK release from 1977. 77, yeah, and it's a usual CTI, it's on the CTI, usual CTI label. CTI, yeah, I think pretty West Coast laid back jazz music. 4 tracks on this, try and get back in. I'll give you the artists at the moment. 4 tracks, easy going album. 4 tracks, and we've got David Grusin on keyboards. Basses, there's a bass player and acoustic and electric bass players. We've got Steve Gadd on drums, guitar by Eric Gale, and flute by Jeremy Steig. Again, I've got to use up my credits. Art Farmer on CTI, Crawl Space, good album. say 4 tracks, 2 per side, and I like that about jazz music, just plays out a bit, and yeah, good album. So the next 7 are all new. And the first one I asked my local shop to get in for me, because I've only got one, I think, other LP of this artist, and I'm looking for a bit more, and the artist is Roland Kirk. And it's just, I think, a recent release. It's the Analog Productions, all analog as usual, and it's part of their Verve series. Take this off. It's recorded in 1962, and it's lacquer was cut by Matthew Luthans. Pressed at QPR, obviously. And a wee gatefold there. Great picks. Yeah, recorded 72. There's 4, 5, 9 tracks on this. Fantastic cover, wasn't it? I was drawn by that, but I was also drawn by, I need a bit more of Roland Kirk in my collection. And 62, so a lot of you like these artists coming out the hard bop era. It's an easy listen, actually, and Roland Kirk was obviously made famous by he plays 3 saxophones, or can at one time. There you go. He also does one. Easy listening album. It's not a difficult album. I'd probably prefer more difficult, a wee bit more than the avant-garde, but it's a good listen. The rest of the musicians are in fine print here, and it's recorded 61, released 62. We've got Art Davis on piano, Charlie Persip on bass, Hank Jones plays piano, and Wardell Marshall on bass too. So there's some different musicians on the different tracks. But a good album, and a good album to get into Roland Kirk, actually, if you fancy a bit in your collection. So very pleased to pick that up. Also, he got me one of the latest tone poets, and this is an upgrade. One of my upgrades, so I had a wee trade in this, and it's Sam Rivers, a new conception. And obviously, if there's better copies coming up in tone poet, I will buy them. And Sam Rivers on tenor sax. It's playing in the background, by the way. Soprano sax and flute, Hal Galper on piano, Herbert Lewis on bass, and Steve Ellington on drums. Great cover, isn't it? It's for 67, it was originally released. Now this again is a great album. If you think Sam Rivers, his first album or two in Blue Note's fairly accessible, he is a bit of an avant-garde artist. But this album, he does 7 covers, none of his own music, but it's done in his own style. Very good it is. Well recommended. Sam Rivers, yeah. If you don't have any Sam Rivers, this is the one to get. A new conception. Now this album came out, I think, tail end of 2022. And it's on Blue Note. Triple album, and I just, you know these box sets, and I've got a million of them in triple albums. They never get played. Anyway, so I just reneged on this when it first came out. Anyway, it's punted fairly cheap on eBay, and it was like triple album, Blue Note. I'll get to the artist. Like about £34 posted, maybe 35. Anyway, eBay, which I've just started doing in the last year or so, do wee discount codes. If you look out for them and click, and you get 10, 15, 20% on some stuff, not all the time. So it's encouraged me to use that. Anyway, I got this album posted for about £28.50, and it is Elvin Jones Revival live at Pookie's Club. Absolute belter. There we go, Elvin Jones there, triple album. His drumming on it is absolutely fantastic. There we go, £28.50, brand new. I mean, got Elvin Jones on drums, Joe Farrell on tenor, saxophone and flute, Billy Green on piano, Larry Young on piano, Gingerbread Boy, so I presume he's just on one track, yeah, Larry Young, and Wilbur Little on bass. This is one of those albums that was co-produced by Zev Fieldman, who does all the Renaissance things, and Ashley Kahn, the great writer. Great booklet along with it also. All on Blue Note Records. Great buy. Absolutely fantastic drumming. It's worth it. It's worth the price he's drumming. He does the last side 6, 1 track, Oleo. Yeah, what more can we say? Elvin Jones live at Pookie's. Recorded, no, I think, well, it was recorded 67. I think it was recorded July, well, it was July, a couple of weeks after John Coltrane had died. So there's a lot of frustration in there, maybe, you know, or anger or sadness. But there you go, eventually got it, Blue Note Records. So yeah, I've got into this guy quite a wee bit the last few weeks, and probably all down to the guys, the jazz bum guys. I've interviewed this chap and featured them, and yeah. So a couple of months ago, I got his last couple of albums on. They're on vinyl. He's a French guy out of New York these days, I think. Jerome Sabah, and this is his third last vinyl album, and he does it with Greg Toohey. Now Jerome, he does everything live in 2-track to 30 IPS tape. The sound quality, they're worth it just for the sound quality. This must be an early edition, as it's signed by the two guys, number 41 out of 500. Actually, had to get this from the US. A guy, it come up in UK eBay, he was selling this in the album before it, and it fortunately didn't get the other album. Someone else outbid me. So Jerome Sabah plays tenor saxophone, Greg Toohey on guitar, Joe Martin bass, and Kush Abade on drums. Jerome's quite a laid-back saxophone player, and you've got the guitar in here, so it's a real mellow album. All analog, sounds fantastic, and it's mastered by Bernie Grundman and his all tube system, so good for that. And the Jazz Bums featured this also, and it's one of Jerome's, well, it's his latest release on his own recording label called Analog Tone Factory, and it's by Chris Cheek. Again, a tenor saxophone player. And we've got my favourite guitarist, Bill Frisell, on electric and acoustic guitar. Tony Sher on bass, and Rudy Royston on drums. Fantastic cover. They do this badge on all their records. So it's released in 2 issues. This, you can get the normal release, which is about £40. But this is the one-step version, which I think is about £70. And the only difference between the one step, it doesn't come in a box or anything, is you get, it's numbered, and I'm number 481. It's the only way you know it's one step. 8 tracks, mostly Chris Cheek. They do From Me to You by Lennon McCartney. Again, fairly laid back, absolutely belter sound quality. Don't know why a lot of guys in the industry don't like one step. I've heard various, actually, 2 or 3 folk have said they don't like the process or whatever. Joe Harley it was, I'd text and about something else. Don't know why they're not. No, and I've heard like Chad Castle saying the same thing, and various others. But sound quality is absolutely fantastic. And this actually, I've not got the other one. Obviously, I'm not buying 2, but it would be good to hear both side by side. And I'm sure Jerome wouldn't be putting out a one step if this wasn't better. Yeah, live to half-inch tape, custom tube Ampex at 30 IPS. Bernie Grunman again, cut the master tape. Absolutely very good. Right, 2 quickies first, time getting on, my record I'll finish. So this is 2 Mo-Fis, Miles Davis. Originally, both of them were originally released in Japan. I think maybe this one in 73, it's Black Beauty. It's released this year. Mo-Fi is just on a 33. I've got number 1981, recorded in 1970. No long after Bitches Brew, but Black Beauty is 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's quite a difficult album. That's just an inner, it's not a booklet. It'd be the original inner to the Japanese copy. Yeah, difficult. I would buy every other Miles Davis album probably before this. I mean, Mobile Fidelity is supposed to be, and they've issued it as best they can on what's available, but you're seeing a Mo-Fi, if it doesn't say original master recording, and that's from the original master tape, they put this in Mobile Fidelity Sound Labs. So it's from tape to their usual DSD process. Yeah. And up also at the same time as Dark Magus, Gatefold again. This was recorded in 1974 by Miles. Got a wee bit more information on the sleeve here. Miles trumpet and Yamaha organ, Dave Lieberman tenor sax, soprano sax, Azar Lawrence tenor sax, Peter Cozy guitar, Reggie Lucas guitar, Dominique Gaumont guitar, Michael Henderson bass, Al Foster drums, and James Mutum percussion. So it's recorded in 74. Again, originally released in Japan in 1977. Got its first release. Same idea. Mobile Fidelity Sound Labs. I got number 1314 here. And if you were going to buy one of both, this is the one to get. This is a lot better album. 4 tracks again, just 1 track each side, and but they have a name: Magus, Moja, or Magus, Will I, Magus Tattoo. A lot of great Miles Davis albums out there, and you wouldn't go here first, that's for sure. But almost a completist with Miles Davis. So there you go, 10 albums. there's some coming up, so you might see me in a week or so. Anyway, catch you again. Have a great week.